scientists, here's what we're gonna need to show that we can produce oxygen and use it to keep a flame going. So here's what we're gonna need. We're going to need hydrogen peroxide, a balloon, a flask, a lighter, a tea light, and a cup, as well as some yeast. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide. Now, we're gonna do 1/8 a tablespoon yeast. And then we're gonna quickly put our balloon over the neck. Now we're gonna shake it back and forth. Check that out. Our balloon is inflating. We're gonna take it off. There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and hold this, twist it to make sure the air doesn't come out. Now, before I light this, just a disclaimer and a warning, only use fire as a tool. Fire is not a toy. Make sure to have parental supervision or have a parent do this part for you. So we're gonna light our candle. I'll light my candle. And then I'll put my glass over it and watch this. My flame will slowly die out until eventually it's extinguished. I'm gonna light it again. This time, I'm gonna place my balloon, the end of my balloon, in with my cup, and I'm gonna let the oxygen pour in, and check it out. It's lasting longer this way, but eventually, although the oxygen that we made helped keep our flame going, it will eventually go out. So, as you can see, the oxygen that we used helps keep our candle going. So, oxygen is one of the most important components to keeping a flame going. So, we made some oxygen using some yeast and hydrogen peroxide, and then we used it to help fuel our candle. Check that out. It's still going, even though earlier, when we put the cup over the candle, it went out pretty quick, but the oxygen helped keep it going for quite some time. So, it's a pretty cool example of how important oxygen is for fire. And now, let's do another where we can see what happens with a lack of oxygen. So, in our last experiment, we saw a little bit about how oxygen helps sustain fire. But let's take a little bit of closer look. For this activity, we're gonna need 2 plates, 2 candles, a lighter, some water, a tall cup, a small cup. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add some water to the base of each plate, just enough to cover the bottom. And then, we're gonna ask a parent or guardian or an adult that you trust to light a candle for us. And now, at the same time, we're gonna set our cups over our candles. So on one side, we're gonna have a long cup, and on one side, we're gonna have a short cup. And then, watch. Whoa. Check that out, mad scientists. So, while both of the candles underneath the cups ended up going out, this one went out more slowly than this one. Do you know why that is? Well, it's because this cup is able to hold more oxygen. So that's why there was more oxygen that our candle was able to burn, and therefore it was able to burn longer. This cup is smaller, so it was able to hold less oxygen than this cup. So this candle wasn't able to burn as long as this candle. I think that this was pretty cool and a great example of how oxygen is necessary for helping fires burn. Pretty cool, wouldn't you say? So mad scientists, today we got to do all sorts of interesting and amazing experiments using oxygen. And we learned all sorts of things about the thing that we breathe in every single day. We learned that O2 which is also known as oxygen, is a colorless gas that makes up most of the air that we breathe. In fact, it makes up 20%. It's important to all living things, like humans, plants, and animals. We also learned that O2 gas is constantly being produced primarily by plants through the O2 cycle and through photosynthesis. You also learned that O2 is used for breathing, decomposition, and other reactions we experience every day, such as rust formation and combustion. And we learned that oxygen is super important to keeping flames from going out. So, mad scientists, I had a lot of fun here today, and I hope you did too. Hope to see you back here in the lab very soon. But until then, stay curious.